Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to prototype your app using Keynote. So first I'm going to open Keynote and I'm going to start by clicking plus sign on top and picking just a regular theme by starting a white presentation, basic white. It doesn't have to be white, but I chose it as a blank canvas. So before I do anything and start making anything, I am going to set the dimensions so that the dimensions on the slides are the same as the iPad or an iPhone. So I am going to go to the three dots on the top and I'm going to pick document setup and I'm going to go to slide size on the bottom and pick custom, and in here I'm going to put 834 as the width and 1112 as the height. I'm going to press done. Okay, I'm happy with it. I'm going to click done. Next, I'm going to delete all the boxes I don't need because I just want to have a blank one. So I'm just tapping on them. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is set a background color for my app. So in order to do that, I am going to go to the paintbrush on the top and I can pick a background color. So I can pick on any of these colors. If I go to colors, I have more. If I swipe, I can pick any color on the color wheel and slide these hues. I can pick gradient, but let me just keep it simple for the purpose of this video. I'm just going to go with gray. Okay. So now that I have my background color, I'm going to start by creating a logo. So what's really cool in Keynote is that you can add whatever shapes you want. So if I go to the plus sign on top, I can click on these shapes right here and I can pick from any of these shapes that are in the basic. I can swipe through on the objects, anything that I want to use. There are so many to select from. If there's something specific that you want, you can search for it. For my logo, I'm just going to create my own actually. So I'm going to go to basic and I'm going to pick a square. And my app is a homework helping app. So I am going to just make something that looks like a table with chairs. So I'm going to make it bigger by pulling in a corner, and then I can rotate it by using my two fingers and just kind of rotating it. Now what's really cool is these yellow lines pop up and they show you where the center of the page is. So if you want it perfectly centered, you would do it right there. I don't necessarily need it in the middle, so I'm going to just swipe it up a little bit and then I'm going to make it a little bigger. And then now I'm going to play with changing colors and style of this square. So I'm going to go to the paintbrush on top again. And in here, I can go to style. And I can pick any of the fill colors, just like I did with the background. So let me pick something for my table. Okay, let's see. This works. And then I am going to pick a border actually. So I'm going to go back to style. Right now my shape doesn't have a border, but if I click on the paintbrush, I can change it so that it does have a border. I can pick a style of the border around it. I can pick the thickness of the border, how thick it's going to be. So I'm going to keep it at like 8. I can pick the color of the border, so the possibilities are pretty much endless. I'm happy with that. I can do shadows or reflections, change the opacity. So there's so much that you can play with. So I'm going to just pick this regular border. Oops, let me go back. I'm going to actually make sure it doesn't have a reflection, so let me turn that off. And then I'm going to do behind this table, I am going to do chairs. So I'm going to go to the plus sign and I'm going to add shapes. And this one, I'm going to do this round edge kind of rectangle. And I'm going to try to place them behind by moving and rotating. make them kind of look like they're chairs tucked in. So I'm going to show you how to tuck it in a second. So first I'm going to change the color of this chair by going to color, picking whatever I want, then going to border. I'm going to add the same width of the border so it kind of looks like put together. And then if I go to arrange, right now the rectangle is on, or the round edged rectangle is on top of the square. If I go to the paintbrush, once it's selected, I can go to arrange and I can move it to back so that I swipe back this and it goes behind. I can always go back and fix that if I want to, but for the purpose of this shape, I want to go behind. So now instead of creating another chair by going plus and everything, I'm just going to go ahead and tap on it and click on copy. And then I'm going to click on paste. And I'm going to pick a different color for it. Paintbrush, style. Let me pick another color. And then I'm going to rotate it like I did with the other one. And I'm going to put it in the back. So arrange. Okay. I can add more chairs too if I want to around so that there's 4 chairs. You will just repeat the same thing. If I wanted to add different shapes like I mentioned earlier, you know, if you're doing whatever app that you're doing, if you need this tree, you can play around with the styles the same way by going to the paintbrush and picking a color for your tree. If you want to have a border, you can also do that. Again, the possibilities are endless. You can just play around with it. So now let's say I want to add text in here. You don't need to have text in this box, but I want to add text to my box. So I can go to the plus sign and I'm going to go back to basics. And in here, I'm going to add text. So now the text box pops up. I'm going to drag it. And when I tap on it, I can start typing. So I'm just going to write homework, help. And right now it's small and the font is not what I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it all. I'm going to go to the paintbrush. Paintbrush is your best friend. And you're going to go to text. And in the font, you can change the name of the font that you want to use. You can play around with whatever font you want to use. You can change the text color to whatever color you want. Just like you do with the other things. And then you can make it bigger. I'm going to kind of probably go to like 46. Let's see. I think that looks good. Maybe actually, let me make this bold by clicking on font and maybe actually make it 50. Now it doesn't fit, so I'm going to drag to make it fit, center it in there, and there it is. So I have my quick logo. So on this page, I'm going to actually design a login button and a sign up button. So I can go to shapes and pick whatever shape I want for those buttons. Actually, I'm going to make this simple. And I'm just going to copy and paste this same shape I had. I'm going to rotate it and make it a little box in here. I'll probably change the color. Okay. And in this box, I'm going to actually double tap. So you can add text like we did for the homework help. But since this is a, you know, the shape isn't turned around, I can just double tap in it and type in it. So I'm going to write login. And same way, like I edited the styles, I selected the text. I'm going to click on paintbrush, text. And then I'm going to stick with the same font type. If you scroll all the way up, you're going to see the one that I've used before. And then I'm going to make it a little bigger. Let's see, how does 40 look like? I think that looks pretty good. I can also make it bold. That's better. And then I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it below because that's my login button. And the next button is going to be, if I don't have an account, sign up button. Okay, so somebody who's coming in, here's my home screen. Now I'm going to add a second screen where people would actually put in their information. So when they press on login, it would take them to a login page. So I'm gonna, instead of clicking plus and just doing a regular new blank slide, I'm actually gonna copy this one and duplicate it. So by tapping on and duplicating it, so that I have some things that I can work with already. Now I do want to keep my logo somewhere in the corner maybe, so that I can still see that's my logo of my app. So what I can actually do is I can group things and move them, so I don't have to individually make them smaller and move things around. So in order to do that, to group things, put them together, you have to hold and select all the parts that you want. So I'm pressing on this yellow box, and with my fingers on the iPad, I'm going to click on and select all the other things until I see them all selected. And then when I let go, it's asking me what to do, and I'm going to group it. So now I can move this whole thing anywhere I want. I can also resize it. The only thing that happens is because the text is not going to get resized. So I'm going to have to do that manually in a second. Okay, so I'm going to tap on that text, and I'm going to go to style, and actually to text, I'm going to make that, let's see, until I can see it all in there. Homework. I can probably now make this a little bigger. Okay, select all of it. Let's see, 20, 24 looks good. So now I have my little logo in the corner. I think I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to make buttons for putting your username, your password, and entering the app. So instead of having login, I am going to actually, let me go back. I'm actually going to take this text out of there and just make this like a blank box and drag it underneath this one. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to add a text box, and in that text box I'm going to say username, select it, stick with the same font, make it, I think it was 50 on the other one, so I can just click on all the way up to 50, and then I'm gonna pick, let's see, black, and then I can put that right there. So you would put username in there, I would copy and paste to put password, and then how do I enter? Well, I need some sort of a button, so I'm going to copy and paste it, and I'm going to press right here, right enter. Maybe make it a little smaller so that it's a little different than the other ones. Okay, so the yellow line will help me position it. So now I have my page for when I enter the app and when I log in. And then another page I would make was my sign up page. So if I don't have an account, I would actually duplicate this page. And notice now I don't have to change the logo because it already duplicated itself. And I can write maybe email, create password, then make that a little longer. Let's see, create password, and then usually it asks you to duplicate password, so I'm going to take this and just write copy, paste, and then in here repeat password, and then in here instead of enter I would just write sign up. Okay, so this is really quick how I made this, and I can obviously make improvements to it. One last very important thing is I'm going to show you how to link it so that when I'm presenting and I want to show a mock prototype, when I press on login, it actually takes me to the login page. And when I press sign up, it would actually take me to the page that I would sign up. So right now I have 3 slides, slide 1, 2, and 3. So if I press login, I would like it to go to slide number 2. That's my login page. So I'm going to click on login, and there's a button that says link. I'm going to actually click on it. And in here, usually you think of a link, you think of a website. You can link the website or email, but it lets you link it to an actual slide number. So I'm going to stick with the slide, and I wanted to link to an actual slide number. So I wanted to link it to slide, and I don't want to do next and previous and all that because your slide numbers may change as you're working through pages. So I want to link it to actual slide number. I'm going to click link to slide number 2. Now you see that little arrow pop up. And if I went to the present mode on the top, if I tap on login, it's going to take me to the second page. Let's say I want to sign up. When I press sign up, I want it to actually go to the sign up page, which is page 3. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tap on it, click on the word link, link to slide number 3, back. So now let's see, I'm going to test it. I'm going to put it in play. And when I press sign up, it should take me to the sign up page. Yep, it works. So there you have it. Very simple ways of making your prototype. I went over how to change the dimensions of your presentation of your prototype, how to add background colors, create logos, add shapes, borders, buttons, text, how to put things in groups. That one was when I tapped on everything all together. So I was holding it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then grouping things, duplicating slides, and how to, most importantly, link slides so it's a example of a prototype. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video.